Well, Sunday would have been the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court ruling that legalized abortion in the United States. Some leaders used the day to criticize the current Supreme Court's decision to overrule the 1973 ruling.
Those critics included Vice President Kamala Harris. KVUE's Natalie Haddad joins us here in the studio with more on that. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Brian. Now, in a 6-3 decision on June 24th, 2022, the Supreme Court eliminated the constitutional right to abortion. Now, Texas's trigger law went into effect about a month later. And while some lawmakers praise how this has created a drop in the number of abortions, we're still hearing stories of how the law's overturn affected the lives of women with pregnancy complications. Following the overturn of Roe v. Wade in June and the state's trigger law going into effect in August, Texas saw an immediate and dramatic decrease in the number of abortions. Notably, abortions performed at abortion clinics and surgery centers dwindled from nearly 2,600 in June to just 3 in August. Abortions had in the first 8 weeks of pregnancy or less dropped to 0. But the change in the law after nearly 50 years did not come without troubles.
This was preventable. This didn't need to happen to me.
Including for one Austin couple, Vice President of the United States Kamala Harris shared on Instagram, Amanda and Josh Zarowski.
And it's something that shouldn't have happened to me, but it did because of these laws that the state of Texas had just recently passed.
Amanda details experiencing an incompetent cervix, meaning she was dilating prematurely. She and her husband were told she would have an inevitable miscarriage.
They told us that the only thing we could do was wait.
Under former laws, this would have allowed Amanda to receive a medical emergency-related abortion immediately. But Texas's trigger law prevented this, and it was only when Amanda's life was considered at risk that she was able to receive the care she needed, as she lost her daughter.
If I had been able to receive an abortion when I was first diagnosed, I wouldn't have gotten really sick. I wouldn't have had to wait 3 days. I wouldn't have developed sepsis. I wouldn't have had to be in and out of the hospital. I wouldn't have had to stay in the ICU for nearly a week.
Texas's trigger law bans all abortions except under limited circumstances like a life-threatening condition to the mother caused by the pregnancy. Now, abortion in the state is punishable by up to life in prison and at least a $100,000 fine for each offense.